Hello, everyone. I'm here with Rabbi Aaron Allsbrook from Ohev Israel, Northern Virginia. Well, the congregation from Northern Virginia, and he's one of our visiting speakers of January. Rabbi Aaron, please go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Born and raised Southern California. Been all over and lived in Israel, lived in New York, traveled, done a Passover Seder in Hong Kong, and visited a Native American village in Fairbanks, outside of Fairbanks, Alaska. I've been around, but now I am the senior leader at Ohev Yisrael in Springfield, Virginia. Married to a wonderful woman, Brooke, and we are expecting our fourth child in just a few weeks. So it's, yeah, I was a school teacher, special education in New York City. I've studied opera. I have an Orthodox rabbinic ordination. Done a lot of wild and weird things. Make for an interesting coffee table book. But I'm very excited. I love what I do now. I've been the senior leader for a little over 2 years, and love our community. And I'm very excited to come speak and know Rabbi Wine for some years now. A good friend of mine, he and Sonia. So this is a treat for me. Sure. Yeah, I grew up in a family. We loved Yeshua. Jewish identity wasn't the foremost of that. We would go to church and we would celebrate the holidays with my grandparents. It wasn't until really later in high school that we said, maybe there's something more to this. Going to Israel for the first time then, and I went to college, attending Beth Yeshua in Philadelphia, one of the oldest Messianic synagogues in the country. Realizing, wow, this is something significant. So it started at the beginning of college, really taking on a whole new meaning. Figuring it out for myself, is this what I really believe? Is this, how do I foot this all together with being Jewish and everything? It wasn't easy. And then I moved to Israel, and that kind of helped it, because I got to see Jewish life as something more normative, as opposed to in the States, where you have to really fight for it, and it's viewed almost as really more of a religion, where in Israel it's seen as a culture and as a way of life. So that was good. I had a stint too where I lived amongst the Orthodox and lived like them, and well, I'm glad I did, and I learned a lot. It taught me that Yeshua, with Jewish life without Yeshua is good. There's a lot of good things, but it's kind of, I view it like diet soda. You think it's going to satisfy you, but it just doesn't. So I really love him, and I'm glad he's is the forefront of my life and from my Jewishness. I have a wife who didn't know him growing up and came to know him in their 20s. And she's helped me to put it in a very healthy perspective of this is who we are as Jews, and Yeshua is the forefront of that. We raise our kids like they don't see any distinction. It's just, he's the fulfillment, and he's part of our lives. Everything that's led me to this point as a Messianic rabbi, and sharing a lot with Jewish people in this area, and particularly now putting the Holy Spirit in his proper place, is an integral, inextricable part of being Jewish. So it's pretty cool. Still learning, still growing. Wherever I meet people, I can minister to them in both words and deeds, and even just relationship. And I found this exemplified when I first moved down here. I joined the JCC, and just would go to the gym in the mornings, and I would meet people, and inevitably, people, who are you? Where are you from? What do you do? And you get to engage with them and share with them. Some people are more open, some people are not. But one of the most glaring examples is one of the trainers there, he trained the executive director. And so I said, I would love to meet him. And he said, sure, I could make that happen. I said, He said, I trained him on this morning at this time. So I showed up there, and I didn't see him the first week. Oh man, so I got that. Oh, I could be deterred, or I could just keep going. So the next week I showed up, and he was there, and he said to me, I heard about you. I'd like to know about what the difference between a Messianic and a Christian is. I said, we should have coffee and I talk. I said, that sounds great. And all that is to say is that came about from me just going to the gym and talking with people. And I mean, was I honest? Sure, I was. Was I obnoxious? No. And I got to, I'd have coffee with other members of the JCC, and I offered to pray for people. And some people I didn't. I didn't force it. One person there, for instance, we still stay in touch and go out sometimes and get to catch up. But at one point I was talking about, where are you with God? And he said, I don't know. He said, I really don't want to pursue it. And I said, why not? He said, well, I don't know what it would do to my life. And I like my life. I said, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
But I said, if you ever do have questions or do want to talk, and he's a member of a local conservative synagogue, I said, I'm here for you. And he said, I appreciate that. And we have an honest relationship. Sometimes we talk about God, and recently we don't. It's because I know where he's at, but I'm still there, and I still just am a friend. Show him that I care, and I'm just honest. So it's a sensitive walk, and I've learned that just praying before I go and what the Lord have me do, and sometimes I just get a sense of wanting to say something. Other times I just keep my mouth shut and just love them and be there as a good person. And if the opportunity presents itself to share about Yeshua, to minister to them in a very upfront way, then I'll do it. Do I have all the answers? No, but I think people can see the authenticity. It's clear what I believe, and that I'm passionate about it. I'm respectful of other people and listening to the Spirit and how he leads.